Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexandra from Sesala Design, and in today's video I want to share with you how I made this lovely puff sleeve dress. For this dress you'll need 3 meters of fabric, I chose this black texture veil, 1 meter for lining, 2 meters of elastic, and the pattern for the bodice and the sleeve. Let's dive in. I will link the pattern for you to download and follow along with this tutorial. I like to start with a sketch because it's easier to obtain the desired shape. Of course, not always what I sketch ends up the final product, but it will give me a helpful overview of how the garment will look. For example, this dress I had to shorten by 50 centimeters because it was too long for my taste. As you will see in the link that I gave you, I had two pattern pieces. One for the bodice and one for the sleeve. The pattern of the bodice looked like this, one front and one back. In the video, I cut the back of the dress in two, but my recommendation for you is to keep it one piece. I just did extra work that wasn't necessary. The bodice isn't form-fitting, which is why it doesn't require a zipper. Press the darts down towards the waist. Next step is spinning and sewing together the front of the bodice and the lining on the sides. Press open the seam allowances for each part. After that, it's time to align the face with the lining and sew them together, right side to right side. Press the seam allowances towards the lining and sew an understitch on top of the lining near the seam. Press the seam and close the bodice by pinning and sewing together the back parts. Now we are ready for the ruffles. The skirt has two big ruffles plus the lining underneath. The dimensions that I use are in the pattern provided, but with the mention that you can change it for your own measurements. Sew all the pieces together and use the serger to clean the edges. press them on one side. To make the gathers, as I have shown you in the previous video, I increased the stitch length to the maximum and sewed 2 parallel lines on all the pieces that I wanted to gather. And now I am tugging the threads to gather the fabric. Next, I decrease the stitching length and pin the first ruffle to the bodice. Sew the ruffle and attach the lining to the bodice. I like to use what I think it's called the sandwich method, where the bodice is between the face of the skirt and the lining. And I use a serger to clean the edge. Now I will make an understitch to keep my lining secure, where I will sew together the lining and the seam allowance. I will do the same for the bottom ruffle. I will gather, pin, and sew to the previous frill. The second ruffle is almost half the size of the first ruffle. Clean the edge with the serger. And I finish the hem of the dress. The next step is sewing the sleeves. I started with the gathers from the bottom of the sleeves, for which I used elastic. I have a tip for you. I gather the fabric before sewing in the elastic. To sew the elastic, I use a zigzag stitch. I place the elastic on top and sew it over the gathers. Close the sleeves and use the serger to finish them. Now I will sew the cape of the sleeve. I marked where the sleeve is gonna be attached to the bodice and laid it without a stitch. Now I will attach the elastic to the cape of the sleeve using the zigzag stitch. And I sew the hem of the sleeve. The sleeves are ready to be attached to the dress. I pin the sleeve, which is on the right side out, and the bodice, also on the right side out, and match the seam sides. I sew them together and finish the edge with the serger. Some final details for my puff sleeve dress. Because I wanted the bodice to be large, I had to fit it for my figure, and the easiest solution was to put elastic on the top stitch of the bodice front and back. I measure how long my upper chest is, and I cut the elastic to match. Voila, the final look! Actually, not really, because I decided later to make a waistband, 1.5 meters long and 30 centimeters wide. I turn out the waistband. Press it. And close it. Now I can show you how the dress fits me. What I love about it is the fact that it's so easy to wear. You can choose another type of fabric for this dress, and you can even make it puffier if you want. I would really love to see your projects, and if you need any help in the process, you can let me a comment in the comment section below, and I will answer as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe for new sewing ideas each week on this channel, and until next time, let's find inspiration.